Hello, good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? Welcome to Let's Talk. Of course, I am Juju. I am your host, and so come on in, guys, and let's get ready for another in-depth and uplifting, exciting, informative discussion. We're going to have a real discussion tonight about Project 2025 and about the browning of America and how that has impacted the policies that we see proposed in this Project 2025 mandate. So you guys come on in and let's have this discussion. So anyway, I pray everyone has had an awesome day today. A few weeks ago, it's been probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I did a thing, guys, and I cut my locks out, okay? So I have been growing my locks for about 8 years, and so I had some thinning up in the top of my hair, and so I wanted to get that taken care of, so I cut my locks out. And so that was, like I said, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I really have not had, I just cut the locks out, washed the hair, didn't do anything with it. So it was just really just all over the place. So anyway, this weekend, Saturday, yesterday I went and allowed my nephew to cut my hair, and he shaped it up and he put it in a cute little, what I think is a cute little bob. Anyway, so he had cut it and everything, and so I wore it to church this morning in my little bob and thought it was cute. I got some compliments on my bob and everything. And so this afternoon, my great niece, 4 years old, called, and we were talking to her on FaceTime. And so I said, Journey, your dad cut my hair, cut your Juju's hair. I said, do you like it? And she started laughing. And then, so I said, Journey, you don't like your Juju's hair? And she said, Juju, why did you cut your hair? And I said, well, Journey, and then before I could get anything out, trying to explain to her why I cut my hair, she said, you going on TikTok? And you know, to her, everything is TikTok. So I said, yeah, I'm going to do my live tonight. Put on Keisha. I said, what? Put on Keisha. She calls this wig Keisha. So anyway, I guess I mind very well, because here I am with Keisha on, because Journey Huff obviously does not like my haircut. But one of these good old days, I'm going to let y'all see my haircut, because I kind of think it's cute. But anyway, I have to follow the instructions of my 4-year-old great niece and put on Keisha. But anyway, so guys, thank you for joining us this evening. Come on in. Everybody, come on in and make yourself comfortable. And as you come in, please like and share the video. Tag a friend. Let them know that we're having another enlightening discussion here on Let's Talk tonight. And as I said earlier, the subject for tonight's discussion is Project 2025 Revealed. I know most of you guys, if you pay any attention to the news and have watched any news or any of the election information for this election, you have heard of Project 2025. Not quite sure if you know all of, I mean, it's a 900-page mandate, so it's a lot to know all of what is involved in that. But each and every day, I learn more and more about it. And as I learn more about it, I want to share those things with you, because this is the conservative plan for the first 180 days of a conservative president, Donald Trump, we'll just say, presidency, if he is reelected. So we need to know what the left wing, the right wing extremists, the conservative Christian nationalists have planned if they have an opportunity to get back into the office, in presidential office. So we were going to talk about that a little bit tonight. So come on in. Hi, Sandra Pelletier. How are you doing this evening? Come on in, guys, and just like and share as you come in, and also give me a wave, tell me hello, let me know, just wave at me, tell me hello, because I like to know that you're out there with me in this discussion. And I hope that everyone feels comfortable expressing your opinions. Your opinions may not be my opinions, and that's okay. It's okay that we have if we have differing opinions. That's quite all right. We have to learn how to communicate with one another in a civilized way, if we want to keep a civilized society. So come on in, guys, and just let me know that you're here when you come in. If you would, just shout me out, give me a hello. Hi, Jonathan Collins. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad that you were able to join tonight. So as I said, we're having a very open and honest discussion. And like I said, you don't have to agree with me. You can have your opinions. Everybody is entitled to those opinions. And we respect opposing opinions, the opinions of others here on Let's Talk, and we have to learn how to communicate with each other civilly if we want to keep a civilization that is functioning. Hello, Duchess. How are you? Thank you for joining. If you guys could do me a favor when you come in, if you would like and share the video, if you would tag a friend, let them know that we are on the air, that we are having an informative and uplifting discussion, and we would love for them to join us. I have some very exciting news we're going to share with you guys tonight. Let's Talk is going to be very busy in the next several weeks. So looking forward to that. We're gonna go in person as well. So I'm gonna tell you more about that. We're gonna have a actual on-site Let's Talk, and I'm very excited about that. I hope you guys will try to make plans to join us for that as well. Hello, Justin Thomas. How are you doing, boo? How's everything going? Thank you for joining us this evening. If you guys would do me a favor when you come in, please like and share the video. Invite a friend, tag somebody, let them know that Juju is on the air. So excited about tonight's discussion. We're going to be talking about the fear of the browning of America, and how that has impacted some of the policies that are proposed in the Project 2025 mandate. So we're going to talk about that fear of the browning of America tonight. So guys, come on in and join in the discussion. Come on in and join in the discussion. But anyway, so Keisha and I are here for you tonight. And so hopefully Journey Huff will be happy to see her Juju because she was not excited about my haircut. I promise y'all she wasn't. Then she asked me, were you going on TikTok? And she said, don't be out there embarrassing me like that with your little haircut. You need to put on Keisha. So I mind, you see Duchess, you see how I mind Journey. I went and put on Keisha because she told me I could not be out on TikTok with my haircut like I had with my haircut showing. But I'm going to show y'all my haircut one of these, the good old days. Journey ain't going to keep on bossing me around. I ain't going to be bullied by a 4-year-old all my life. But anyway, as you see Keisha. Hello, 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 everybody. Come on in, come on in, come on in. So excited to be here. Okay, here we go as usual. Mr. Jackson, I don't know why it is that you always give me trouble about coming on, but anyway, we'll try again. So just send me another invite so I can get you in here and we can get started in a few minutes. It's almost 7 o'clock, so of course we will get started at 7 o'clock p.m. But thank you guys for joining us this evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And like I said, I hope everybody has had a great weekend. It huffed and puffed out here, but it didn't do anything. Just huffed and puffed. I think it rained maybe 2 drops, heard a little bit of thunder, and we definitely could have used the rain. But the rain and the storm that had all those alarms going off, Joyce, did not do anything. Did you all get some rain at your house? Because I didn't get anything. And they had everybody's phone and the weather radio and everything going off and didn't get anything. But anyway, I see, I know you're here, but it won't allow me to bring you on in. So make that request again. I don't see you on my list of people. So try it again. I don't know what it is, why the devil is always trying to get in the midst of this show. I don't know what it is. Satan is, we just a little local talk show. I don't know why you always trying to get in the middle of our stuff, but anyway, we will not be denied. We gonna keep on keeping on and keep on doing what we're supposed to do. Y'all got a little rain. I'm talking about the roads weren't even wet over here. I could tell it rained because the top of the trash can was wet. And that's the only way I could tell that it had rained. Hello, Tiffany Williams. How are you doing? Welcome to Let's Talk. All right, it is 7 o'clock p.m. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started this evening. Welcome to this week's edition of Let's Talk. I am your host, Juju, and I am coming to you live tonight from my living room. Let's Talk is produced by my dear brother who always has my back, my dear brother and friend, Mr. Jerry L. Jackson. Thank you, Mr. Jackson, for all that you do to make this show possible. There's so much for us to talk about this week, so we're going to get right into it. But first, I want to remind you that this is not intended to be a news show, but we will try our best to steer clear of gossip and things that are knowingly untrue. And also, it is my sincere hope that everyone finds this a safe place where you feel comfortable sharing your opinions with us. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Michael France. How's everyone doing tonight? I can't hear. Can everybody hear us? Tiffany says she can't hear, but I'm thinking others can hear. I've been talking to Joyce. Tiffany, do you have your volume? Well, you can't hear. You can't hear me asking you, do you have your volume up, right? So anyway, So tonight we are going to explore Project 2025 some more and how its policies are in some part a result of the fear of the browning of America. And when I say the browning of America, thank you, Mr. Jackson Duchess. You all can hear. Um, uh, um, okay. The browning of America. And what do I mean when I say the browning of America? That is just that the population of the United States is changing. The demographics, the population, it is changing. Okay, it says that in 2010 the population of America was 63.58% white. In 2022, the population of America was 58.9% white. And based on the current demographic trends, statisticians estimate that by 2045, America will become a minority white country, and which means that the majority of people will no longer be white. By 2045, it is estimated that 49.7% of America will be white, 24.6% of America will be Hispanic, 13.1% of America will be black, 7.9% of Americans will be Asian, and 3.8% will be multiracial. And so with the rapidly increasing Hispanic and Asian populations in these United States, the demographics and the makeup of the United States is quickly changing. And as a result, there is fear among some white Americans. So, the icebreaker question that we have for tonight: how do you think the fear of the browning of America impacts some of the right-wing extremist policies? How do you think the fear of the browning of America impacts some of the right-wing extremist policies that we have? Hello, Mr. Andrew Page. Hello, Rachel Robinson. How are you doing? Mr. Jackson, have you tried to come in again? Have you tried to come in again, Mr. Jackson? Okay, I don't see you in there. So I'm one of my friends in tonight who hello Althea, how are you doing? Um okay, I don't okay. Well, maybe you can try again a little later. I'm trying to add someone in. So how do you guys think that the fear of the browning of America impacts some of the right wing extremist policies? Or do you think that the browning of America or the fear of the browning of America have any impact on some of the proposed policies in Project 2025 and some of the laws that have already been passed, the voter registration laws, um, that are some of the laws that are going in place to try to limit um, people and prevent them from voting. That is that is going on all over the nation. So, how do you guys feel about that? The browning of America and its impact on some of the policies of the conservative um, right wing of our government. Do you think they have an effect on it or not? Okay, so I guess I'll give you guys a few minutes to ponder that, and we'll go on a little bit further. But if you have any comments, always, or any questions, as always, feel free to just drop them in the chat, and we'll look at those. As we examine many of the policies outlined in Project 2025, in the Project 2025 mandate, we realize that the fear of the browning of America is one of the driving forces behind these policies. The fear that America will soon be minority white, which could lead to a decrease in the political power possessed by the white race, has led some to desire to take drastic measures in an attempt to prevent what appears to be inevitable. Some members of the conservative right, like the Heritage Foundation, seem to think that by taking the country back to a time when the white majority had absolute rule over the country, it's the only way to preserve their white power. I don't have that, Mr. Jackson. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so so some of the conservative right wing feel like that if the only way for them to preserve their white majority and to have absolute rule over the country is for them to take us back to a time before there was as much interaction and engagement that we have now with the more brown population of America. And here are some of the proposed issues for Project 2025. And we're just going to discuss these issues tonight and how they might contribute to the preservation of white power, how some of these policies might contribute to that. Tiffany Williams says that the Project 2025 still won't stop the browning. But if you look into some of the things that are really the undercurrents of Project 2025, it is really, you have to look at it, and you have to look at it, the undercurrents of Project 2025, because some of those proposals and some of the policies, you know, could really impact us in a very negative way. But first of all, the first one we want to look at is the desire to get rid of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion in the federal government, and subsequently in private business. You know, they want to mandate it for the federal government, and hoping that, of course, private businesses will follow suit. And of course, some will, because there are some people who own big businesses that think the same way. Some won't. You know, you have some that lead the way on diversity, equity, and inclusion. It all has to do, I guess, with the person. Mr. Jackson, I sent your request. It says you did not answer, so I'm going to invite you again. Okay, so how do you think that getting rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion in the federal government and subsequently in private business would impact would impact the browning of America? Michael France said, I agree, it will not stop the browning, but it may impact and limit the rights of people of color. And that is true. they do seek to limit the 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 rights of people of color. They want us to be less informed, less educated, but there are things that they do that are intentionally meant to stop the browning of America. And you have to go deep into the Project 2025 mandate to know that there are plans to stop the browning of America, not just to prevent us from to limit our power or to limit our access to government or to things of that nature. Good evening, Mr. Jackson. So happy you could join us. How are you doing this evening?
Good evening, Juju. I'm great. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. We were talking about some of the proposals in Project 2025 and how they are meant to combat or to prevent or to combat the browning of America, because there's a fear of some on the right that white people will lose their majority. They will no longer be the majority, that the minority will be the majority. So we were talking about DEI and in the federal government. And that is one, Michael, France, and Tiffany, that would would impact, it wouldn't impact the browning of America, but it would impact our access to jobs, our access to especially government jobs, and our ability to impact laws, so they can create these laws that further limit our rights and our access to government and our ability to participate in our government. That DEI is part of that, wanting to get rid of DEI. Then they want to get rid of the Federal Department of Education. Oscar Penn, hey, how are you doing, my cousin? I'm so glad you have joined me. Thank you. Oh, okay. Um, uh, Mr. Jackson, we had a couple of comments. You want to look at those before we move on to the next part?
Well, it basically, you touched on Michael France's comment, and Oscar Penn is thanking you for sharing the valuable information. And Tiffany Williams says the last will be first and the first will be last. Um, those are the comments so far in the chat.
Okay. And so the getting rid of the Federal Department of Education. So, of course, that is another way to keep us uneducated, realizing that knowledge is power. Okay, so of course, by getting rid of the Department of Education and even down to cutting out Head Start, and the cutting out some plus loans. They don't want parents to be able to take out loans for their children to go to college and all of these different kind of things. So that is an attempt to keep people of color uneducated, as a means to keep them from knowing what is going on, from knowing how to respond to attacks to our liberties and things of that nature. You had a comment, Mr. Jackson?
Yes, I did. I want us to understand the clarity of when we're talking about browning of America, that's not going to change. However, Project 2025 is continuing to go, whether there is an administration in place that can actually defend the rights. However, there's a strong group of individuals that are really trying to push the narrative of Project 2025. When we talk about browning of America, I mean, it started many years ago because you've got all types of uh, races that are mixing, and it's constantly increasing, which means that the white Americans are now becoming the minority, and they're doing everything in their power. That's why we have Project 2025 in play, and all you hear about DE&I and deleting the Department of Education, because who is successful behind those particular areas? It's the brown skinned individuals. And I think, and I don't want to say, because when we do get a position, we've already earned it. We don't need special privileges. And I think a lot of times the reason why people are confusing and misconstruing affirmative action with DE&I, those are two different policies, processes, and we just need to be educated. So I'm going to leave it at that so we can move forward.
Okay. And I want you guys to realize, you all say that they can't stop the browning of America, and I want you to realize what the diabolical plan is. They
Right.
want to stop people from coming into America.
Yeah.
That brown people. Okay, now if you're coming from Canada, Europe, all these people, they don't mind. But those that are coming from South America, they want to cut them off. They want to deport millions and millions and millions of these people. They want to deport them, get them out of the country. As you can see, the Hispanic population is the one that is growing most. So they want to get rid of them. They want to stop the browning of America. We go look at the next thing that they talk about. They talk about the repealing of the Affordable Care Act. That means that the lower income people, mostly people of color, don't have access to affordable health care. What does that mean when you don't have access to affordable health care? That means you are more likely to die earlier. Okay? Okay, so they are trying to stop the browning of America. It's not like they think, oh, we just going to get some policies that are going to take away their rights. No, they are trying to stop the browning of America. And we had some more comments. Mr. Jackson, go ahead.
Yes, we have several, and thank you so much for placing these in the chat. Tiffany Williams says, this is very sad. White American doesn't realize the white woman has benefited the most from DE&I. And she also states many black male Republicans have Caucasian wives. They may end up banning the union of interracial marriages. Comment from Duchess Thomas. Everyone has to be aware there are some items in Project 2025 that, if fully put into effect, would indeed stop the browning of America. And Duchess, thank you so much for that comment, because Project 2025 is deep. You think about how they have been banning abortions across America, okay? And when you think about the banning of abortions, what that means is they're, in essence, and Julie, I really want you to expound on this because we talked about it early, and I want to give that topic back to you about the banning of abortions and how it's going to affect.
Mm-hmm.
How it's going to
And
really
when they
affect.
look at the banning of
Yes,
abortions, the majority of women that have abortions are white women. They don't care if black women have abortions. They don't care if Hispanic women have abortions. They want to stop white women from having abortions because they want white babies.
right.
Okay? So it is not, and you see people saying how it had this economic impact on Black people, making them, but that's not their plan. That's not the plan of Project 2025. It's not that we want to, we're going to make the Black people have these kids because that put them in economic turmoil. No, they don't care if you abort Black babies. They want to stop white women from having abortions because they want these white women, they want these white babies because they are trying to combat the browning of America. You look at the legislations involving IVF. Everybody says, oh, they want to control women's bodies. They don't want them to have babies with in vitro fertilization. No. Look at Alabama's law on in vitro fertilization. It was not that you could not have kids through in vitro fertilization. No. They said each of those embryos that you got from IVF, and this is mostly something that white women do. It's a very expensive procedure. You don't have a lot of Black or Hispanic women doing in vitro fertilization. Usually, though, what they do is they may fertilize 15 eggs. They may only implant one or two, and then after the women have their babies, usually they destroy those other embryos because they've had the child or the children that they want. Well, the law in Alabama says that those embryos are people and you can't destroy them. That's why they stopped with the IVF, not because they was trying to stop in vitro fertilization. No, it's because you got these people with 10 frozen eggs and you want 10 white babies from these 10 frozen eggs. Okay? So when you look at the diabolical plan that is Project 2025, yes, they are indeed trying to stop the browning of America. And it gets even deeper than that. But we'll stop at that IVF
So,
part right
Julia,
there and see what kind of
Julia.
comments we have. Go
Well,
ahead.
I want to just do a shameless plug for a face-to-face show. I've already posted it, but I want us to start talking about it because we're going to have a huge face-to-face Let's Talk Live at the Historical St. Luke, September 12th at 6 o'clock. And we're going to really deep dive into this. This hour show is just not enough. So what we want you to do is we're giving you snippets of it now. We can't cover everything, but we're going to have a dynamic duo that's going to be with us from Alabama Alliance that's going to come in where you'll have an opportunity to publicly ask questions, but more importantly, we're going to educate our people. And we want everybody to be in attendance that can hear it, because once you hear what you're hearing now on the advertisements and what you're hearing, the snippets on these political ads and all of these informational sessions, you're not getting it like we're going to give it to you on September 12th. So I needed to just stop and plug that right away, Julia, while we're
Okay.
really getting into it. So Duchess Thomas says more white women have abortions. She's absolutely correct. And hello, Darlene Doll Todd. It's so good to see you.
Hey,
Welcome aboard. It's good to see you. So I wanted to shamelessly plug our on-site face-to-face, and we
okay.
want y'all to come out and support us.
And we had some more comments.
Oscar says, get him a flyer and he will share it.
Okay.
I certainly will. And Duchess says, tell the truth. I'm so thankful to you, Juju, because you articulate that so much better than I ever could. And it's profound when you think about the undercurrent. most people are just looking at the base of it. We're looking at the
On
base.
the surface,
You've got
but
to
it's
dig.
it's
It's
deep.
so much deeper than what you're seeing on surface. It's
Mhm.
scary. I'm going to
It
be very honest.
is. It is.
It's
It
dangerous.
is scary.
Yes.
And then, Jerry, I want to talk to you guys just for a minute about, um, like we um, go back to the Department of Education. So they want to have us ignorant because what they are proposing to do, of course, is give everybody a voucher. Every parent gets a voucher, and you can take that voucher and apply it to your child's education. Of course, it wouldn't be enough money to cover getting into their private schools, but you can take your voucher and go to the public school, or you can take it and go to the private school. But it may be enough to help that person that's on the borderline be able to go over into the private schools. Of course, that's going to take money out of the public schools, meaning that you're going to have a substandard education, and so you won't be as knowledgeable about the things that they're trying to do. Okay, we got the promotion of junk science, like eugenics. Okay, all right. So that is something that is in the undercurrents of Project 2025, eugenics. What is eugenics? You've seen me posting about it, but let me tell you what it is. Okay, it is a scientific theory, and it's junk science, but it's what they propose. And I don't know that they actually believe it, but if you put it out there, you say you got the legislative power to put this in place, then you can do these things. This is how they propose to stop the browning of America. Eugenics is uh, is a scientific theory that says you can make better human beings or more intelligent human beings by taking the humans that have the higher IQs and let them uh, have babies. So you have kids with higher IQs. And so also in this eugenics, those that have the lower IQs, which they indicate or they say are the uh, people of color, they propose forced sterilization. Okay, so when I say they have diabolical plans to stop the browning of America, they have diabolical plans to stop the browning of America. Forced sterilization of women with low IQs and men with low IQs, meaning people of color, black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, any non-white people, so that they will not be able to reproduce. This is what is in Project 2025. Men, black men, listen. And I call black men specifically because they are the ones that are still out there supporting these Republicans with not even looking at what these people are trying to do. That is genocide, basically, okay? Let's just put it to you straight. That is proposed genocide. Listen, pay attention, look at what they're doing. It's not just we want to take your rights. No, we want to take you out. Okay, we got some comments, Mr. Jackson.
Um, just basic to send stars to support us at the Let's Talk Town Hall in September. And of course, Duchess is agreeing in total agreement, and Tiffany Williams is in total agreement. I recognize that this is a very deep conversation, but we really solicit your responses in the chat. Please respond. Tell us how you're feeling. Um, you know, in order to eradicate the fear, we've got to get out to the polls. We can sit here and educate you all day and talk about it. And Julia brought up a very great point. The Black men who are still out here supporting that particular side of the political spectrum and don't even realize what is happening on that side. As I've always stated, I don't agree with everything that the blue side does. I don't agree with everything on the red side. However, I am of the opinion, and I will stand 10 toes down, that I am not up for Project 2025 and the detriment that it would cause to my people.
Project
And
2025 people is
yeah,
dangerous. And I know and I understand that the Harris Waltz campaign wants a more positive, feel good campaign. And I understand that. I'm all for it. I'm all for the positivity and everything. But we still have to realize what is really, really at stake. It's more than a feel good. We are really fighting for our lives and the lives of our future generations in this.
and
And
you
you have some comments,
and
Mr. Jackson.
you will hear that in their campaign speeches. You hear constantly they're talking about Project 2025. You hear them talking about our democracy. We are in a fight to save our lives. I cannot imagine if that administration gets in and starts with their policies. They've already told us that on day one, they're going to start with executive orders. And trust me, that deranged individual will do that. I'm trying not to get onto my political stance, but I need for us to understand the importance of factually communicating to our brothers and sisters about Project 2025. No matter how often he stands up and says he has nothing to do with it, it is very evident that he does. There was a report that came out where there was a secret camera involved and it exposed a lot of information. The
Mhm.
reason why they are backpedaling is because they didn't think that would be much exposure to it. Now, I'm
Mhm.
going to give credence and credit to our sister on MSNBC, Joy Reid. Every chance she gets on her show at 7 o'clock Eastern, she's talking about it. You hear it from the Harris Waltz campaign. What we need you to do is not just listen to what Project 2025 is all about. We need you to do some research, read it. You can't,
Mhm.
you have to read it in portions because it's overwhelming. It is it's very, it's very well written, and they even have training videos. You can
Mhm.
go out to Google and listen to what they're planning to do and how they're going to do it. Here in Georgia, they've already started by placing the people that repudiated the 2020 election. They're now on the board where they can not certify the
Mhm.
election. They're already
Mhm.
getting things in play so that they can repudiate to say, well, he cheated. And if you listen to the message, it's already beginning to play. And then they're also doing fear tactics, trying to say that we're going to be a third world country. Um, and our people, we know how to make it off of flour and water, okay, and some salted pork. We know how to live. We
Mhm.
don't live extravagantly. We know how to live because we've been forced and taught how to live
We are
because of what our
survived. Okay, Mr.
exactly. So
Jackson, we have some comments. You want to go
no,
through some
I
of
don't.
those comments?
There are
Huh?
none. There
Yeah,
are none.
we had
I don't have
some.
anything
I see.
from Tiffany.
Okay,
I don't see any.
I see some from Duchess. She says, not all black men, but too many black men support the very party that wants to get rid of them.
Okay.
Duchess made that comment. That is the butt naked truth, Tiffany. Or if you don't want to send, oh, okay, okay. It's just okay, all right then. So yeah, we have to realize what is the diabolical plan of of Project 2025. And then we also have to realize, like Mr. Jackson was talking about the video that came out that where the guy was saying, "Oh yes, all this person and this person and this person and this person are all part of this," and all the people he was naming were Donald Trump had been in
Appointees.
his administration and are planning to be in the new administration. And then he also said, yeah, don't worry about him backtracking and saying he's not a part of that. Don't worry about that. He knows all about it. We have gone over this plan with him. He is fully on board with it. But what we have not seen a lot of, I don't think, is the part where it said this is just the public portion of Project 2025. There is a portion that we have not publicized. Okay? So we're talking about this. This is the part that they would say out loud, and it's horrible. But they got some more that they won't even say out loud. Some other plans that they won't even say out loud. So it is a fear. Like I said, there's a fear of the browning of America, the fear of them losing power, the fear that they will no longer be the majority race. It will be a minority majority. And so this fear has led to them, whatever it takes. It's a whatever it takes mentality. We're going to do whatever it takes to prevent, to keep from being the minority, um, uh, from to keep from having a minority majority. So it's a lot more than just we don't want you to have political pull or political power. We want to take some of your rights, yeah. But the ultimate plan is we want to take you out. That is the ultimate plan. We want to wipe out your race. We want to wipe out brown people. We want to get rid of the Hispanics, as many of them as we can deport. We want to deport, and those that we don't deport, then we want to stop them from being able to reproduce. We want to go to the point of forced sterilization. That is some Hitler type crap. Okay.
Mhm.
And we have to remember that. And we have to remind people of that. We have to inform people of that. And like Mr. Jackson said earlier, we will be having Oscar. I hope that you will come out and support us. We will be having the in-person town hall where we will have people from the Alabama Alliance, and they will be explaining to us the history of Project 2025. This didn't just start. This is the just when it started getting exposure because they, you got Donald Trump who is so that he will go along with this, and they know that they got a candidate. If we can get him into office, he will enact this plan. And then we also see that some of the plan, some of the policies are already being enacted in some red states, like here in Alabama. And the Alabama Alliance is going to share with us these laws and these policies that are already being enacted. we were talking about today, SB1 in Alabama, Senate Bill 1, where it was proposing that make it illegal for me to go and get you a absentee ballot and bring it to you. So I just think about the majority of people who need the absentee ballots, really elderly people. They can't get out. They don't know how to call or write or go online and request an absentee ballot. Somebody has to do that for them. But this bill make it illegal for you to assist someone in getting an absentee ballot and getting it back to and getting it turned in so that person can vote. All these kind of things are already taking place in a lot of red states. You see where they're getting rid of some of the places where you can drop off your ballots in some states. Georgia has a crazy law where you can't bring somebody who's been standing in the heat for 2 hours a bottle of water. That's illegal to give them a bottle of water. All of these things that they are doing to try to keep you from being able to exercise your right to vote. So we have to do what we can to resist these laws, know what they are, know what the impact are, and then help as many people as possible exercise their right to vote. Mr. Jackson?
I totally agree. Oscar says, just keep him posted, and he's posted his email address. So I have his email address. So, um, of course, we would love to have you to support this organization by sending stars of this show. And you're right, Tiffany, we have never asked anyone to send us anything monetarily to support, but we feel very strongly about our mission and what our goals are. We're here to educate, inform, and to navigate our people through this torrential world.
Mhm.
If we don't teach and educate, we're going to fail. And just coming on a Sunday, that's great. But I love the fact that, Julia and I are always trying to figure out what we can do to help our people. We both always said, if we are not educated, we're going to fail. And I'm hoping with our excerpts of information that we're sharing that it's going to help us, but we need your support. We need you to be going out and sharing and liking the video and getting people in to
Yes,
talk about it
yes.
and to hear it, because it's very important. And this in person show on September 12th is going to be awesome. We've got a phenomenal presenter that is going to be coming with and to help teach and educate us. And it's just not a one time thing. This is a movement. As you hear many of the prolific commentators, they're saying that Harris Waltz is now a movement. And I think there's a shift. And what we've got to do is we've got to move and walk in the shift. We've got to go to the polls. We've got to talk. We've got to talk to our brothers. We've got to help them understand that. I love the fact that Julia said diabolical, because it is. If we don't understand the severity and the detriment to our people,
Mhm.
we are going to perish, because it is in their documentation, their reading, wanting to
Mhm.
read us producing, and they're upset about the browning of America. And I think
Mhm.
we've made some phenomenal observations. So um, we really want us to get behind this and talk about it and get the facts. I posted on my personal Facebook page today, you can go out and you can fact check these people when they start saying things. You don't have to always, if it doesn't seem like it's real, in this day and time, it really is real. But you need to fact check it. So here again, I'm doing a shameless plug. So I'll continue to let you go.
But you are right, Mr. Jackson. We have to make sure that we are well educated, and we can't keep the knowledge to ourselves. Knowledge, like you say, I always say, is indeed power. And for the lack of knowledge, our people perish.
Yes.
So this right here is crucial. And I know a lot of people are saying, I'm so tired of hearing about this, but I'm gonna keep on talking about it until election day because it's just that important. It is that important. Um, this is something, like I said, uh, some of the plans and policies and ideas that are expressed by the people who are part of the Heritage Foundation and this Project 2025 mandate uh, amount to an attempt to eradicate uh, people of color. It is an at attempt to wipe us out. It's an attempt to at genocide. So we need to be mindful of that. And it is nothing that we should take lightly. Voting is never anything that we should take lightly. But this campaign, this election is really a matter of life and death for us. It really is. And so we need to make sure that we are voting. We need to vote in extremely high numbers because, like Mr. Jackson said, they're already trying to lay the groundwork. If, if you note, yesterday at a speech Donald Trump was giving, he said he was leading in the polls by 93%. He he was leading by 93%. There, he don't even know why they should even have an election. We shouldn't even have an election because he's leading by 93%. And you have people that only listen to news media that carry that crap. So when uh, Kamala Harris and Walz win in November, they're like shocked, really, really shocked because Donald Trump said he was leading by 93%. How could they possibly have won an election? They had to have cheated. We need to go out and we need to fight now because they have once again stolen an election. That is the kind of crap that is going on. So not only do Walz and Harris need to win, but in these swing states, they need to win by large numbers. So you can't go back. So the people can't go back and say, oh, this was stolen. The election was stolen from us. Have to make it abundantly clear that this is a mandate by the people of these United States. We will not go back to Donald Trump, but and make sure his followers know that no, this wasn't no thousand person victory. This was hundreds of thousands of people votes. We won by hundreds of thousands. It is really important that we vote and we vote in mass numbers, that we get people who have never thought about voting before and let them know the importance of voting. Those who have been sitting out, those that are on the sideline, because I'm not sure if I want a woman president. And you even have women that'll say some craziness like that. But we got to convince these people that we need your vote. We have to have it.
And
Now is not the time for foolishness. Not this time.
right. And we just need to do down ballots because, again, I'm
Yes.
going back to the local elections. We get so excited about the national presidential election, but if we were to do what we need to do in 2026 and in these off cycle elections and getting the right people in, the judges, the mayors, the district attorneys, the sheriffs, all of these people play a huge role in supporting the current uh,
Administration. You're right.
administration that wants to come in. And that's why it's so hard for us to win because we can have the correct administration, but if they don't have the House or the Senate to support, it's nothing but a fight. No one even recognizes how many tie votes Madam President has had to register to give
Mhm,
us the
mhm.
ability to have some of the things that we're having. And she has been one of the most involved vice presidents ever. She has taken a role and has ran with it. They've tried to make her become something as the border czar. That has never been her position. But even when there was a border agreement, the former president called his supporters and told them to vote against it because it would make them look good in the next election. How dare. So I'm very concerned that this administration that I'm supporting is a administration of democracy and is all inclusive. However, if we do not go out and vote in mass numbers, we're going to face detriment. And
Mhm.
Tiffany says, don't forget to complete the immunity for police equal fewer blown people. I love that. Thank you for the education. Absolutely.
Mhm.
We have
Mhm.
to elect at the local arena and don't get mad at our brothers and sisters who are spewing out this information because they don't know any better. We have to educate them. I posted many links on my page to where you can go and get links or talking points as to what you need to say to these young black men who are constantly saying, I'm not voting for her because she put us in jail. All that has been repudiated. It it is just the conspiracy theories and the inaccurate information is a way to get us confused. And unfortunately, we're getting better because more people are planting the right seeds. But what we need, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be through. What we need for us to do is I need for you to start emailing people and telling them about Project 2025, get educated, and have them to call 5 people and ensure that they can get them to go out and vote.
Okay.
That's a call to action.
Okay.
That's what I need for you to do. The call to action is you reach out to 5 people that you know, make sure that they're going to go out and vote the right way, not just go out and vote. Because going to vote, anybody can go in there and vote. And if they need some help, we can get you some help. There are lots of ways, and I'm going to be doing some announcements shortly, but we need to educate, but more importantly, communicate. So the call to action is to communicate with 5 people that you know, whether they're in your
Okay.
church, your sorority, or anybody, and get them to go out and vote the right way.
Oh,
Go ahead, Julia.
okay. And because I wanted to go back because you were talking about the black men talking about Kamala Harris
Yeah,
putting black men in jail. But
yeah,
I want to
yeah,
go back to Tiffany's point where in Project 2025, they're proposing absolute immunity for police officers, meaning that they can kill black people. They killed a young man here in Opelika this morning. They can kill black men with total immunity. So that would be open season on black men. Now that's what the black men should be worried about. That is one thing
Well,
because they don't discriminate. It doesn't matter what kind of you see NBA stars have been mistreated and falsely arrested and I mean you see all people of all kinds of all black men of all kinds of economic classes. It does not matter because when you're living black, riding black, working black, eating black, shopping black in America, black is black. And so when these police officers have absolute immunity, they can go in your house like they did in Sonia Massey's house and just kill her for no reason at all and would be nothing anybody could do about it. That's what we need to be worried about.
yeah, I brought that up. I think maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's just terrifying because it came out right when the journalist at the Black Journalists Convention, they asked the question, and he was bouncing all around it, and he never would. And then he flat out said, "But yes, I will grant total immunity," and that is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
very upsetting because we're having to fear for our lives for no reason. And I take issue with that. I'm very concerned because there's no reason why we should have to feel like they can do whatever they want to, and then and you know it's just a lot. But we're going to. It's almost time for the show
Yeah,
to
you
end.
can go
Now,
ahead with those announcements, Mr. Jankos. I
okay,
know we had quite a few today.
we do, and so I have really given a shameless plug about the Let's Talk Project 2025 Town Hall meeting, which will be September 12th. At the historic St. Luke Church. And St. Luke, thank you so much for always being a proponent of history, support. We thank you so much for opening up your doors to allow us to come in and do this show. But it's going to be September 12th, which is a Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our special guest is a
6 o'clock
phenomenal
Central
woman.
Standard.
Did I
Central.
say Eastern? Did I
You
say
did.
Eastern? I'm
You
sorry.
did.
I'm so accustomed to that. 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, and I will be there. I will be coming from Atlanta to be with you. And Monica Riley from the Alabama Alliance will be our event spokesperson, and she will definitely be pouring out some information. And the next announcement is extremely critical. Tiffany, this is a really good one for you. Anybody that's in a sorority, fraternity, but the Voting Rights Restoration Clinic, Saturday, October 5th, 2024, from 10 to 12, here again at the historic St. Luke AME Church, sponsored by the NAACP Lee County Branch, 5038 and Legal Services of Alabama. What in the world is this? If you know anyone that has been convicted of a felony and they don't have, and they've served their time and their purpose, we can get their voting rights restored. So let's talk to our brothers and sisters. That means that we're going to have to walk up and down certain areas. We're going to have to knock on doors. We're going to have to go into the churches. This is really big. It is phenomenal. It is an absolute wonderful situation. So we need to take advantage of that. Okay. All right. And our next one is I get excited about this one because I too want to see what Madam Vice President is going to do in the debate. We're going to have a debate watch party on September 10th. Where we'll be streaming live and we'll be having our comments and we'll be talking. I wish we could be there so we could be live supporting. But we're going to have a Let's Talk Debate Watch party on September 10th, which is 2 days before we have Project 2025. So
Yeah,
we want
September
everybody
is
to,
busy.
yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
that's okay, but it's all right. And then our next is thank you, Hold Up the Light, who is going to be providing assistance to help people get their voting rights restored. Oh my gosh, I am posting a phone number for you to get that information, and we're going to be able to help you to get your voting rights restored. Thank you so much. Hold Up the Light. And by Juju for You, of course, is a Hold Up the Light sponsor. Also, Hold Up the Light will be available for rides to the polls on election day. And that number is listed, and I just posted it in the chat. Looks like my chat is just responding so slowly, but that's okay. It's getting there. So,
It's getting
um,
there.
all right. So make sure if you have a valid state issued ID that you can use that. It is required for you to process your vote. I don't know why the Republicans are saying that we've been able to vote without having an ID. I've never been to the polls where I've always had to show my ID. And even in my polling precinct, the people know me. And I still had to show my ID. So I don't know what they're talking about. I think that's another fear tactic, but that's okay. You can get a voter ID that's a state valid ID, and you can vote. Next one is if you are an Alabama voter, you can check your voting status. You can check your voter status on the link that I have provided. You can go to myinfo.alabamavotes.gov, and it will give you your status to whether
Make sure
you're eligible
you're,
to vote.
you're registered because they are purging rolls, and especially
Registration.
in Georgia, Mr.
Oh,
Jackson. So
baby, I'm already on it. I've been on the phone already. We've been doing phone bank today, so I'm so on it. My head is hurting. I've been talking to people about that. So yes, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Divinely Guided Podcast YouTube channel. It's great, phenomenal episodes each Monday at I believe it's 6 o'clock Central p.m. when it drops, and it's the mother-daughter team of Duchess Thomas and Adriel Benson. Wonderful. And don't forget to subscribe. Lord, there's a lots of announcements, but they,
yeah,
you can go back and look at them, but they're worthy. They're worthy. Okay, so we really need your support in subscribing to um, Juju's Dollhouse. That is so important. We need your support. You know, she does phenomenal work, and you're able to actually hear everything that's going on with By Juju for You. And you can also catch any editions of Let's Talk that you may have missed. And I love it when people call me to say, I enjoyed the last Let's Talk y'all had. People do go back and watch it. And you know what I tell them? I said, well, now after you've watched it, go out and like and share it and get me 5 more people to come on in and watch the next week. So we're really thankful by that. And so By Juju is a proud sponsor of Hold Up the Light Huddle. So this has been another wonderful Let's Talk show brought to you by the wonderful, wonderful duo of Juju and Jerry Lynn Jackson. We love the fact that we're able to educate, communicate, and foster a good community for our people. Back to you, Julia.
well, thank you, Mr. Jackson, and thank you to all of you guys for joining in. I will be out of town next week, so you all pray for my safe travels. I'll be in Portland for work, leaving next Sunday morning. So you all pray for my safe travels. So we won't have a show on Sunday. So we will be back September, and September will be busy. And so we hope that you all will stay on Ardeen Thomas. That's my Facebook. Follow me at Ardeen Thomas, and that way you can keep up with everything that's going on with voting and you know, we share out stuff all the time. So follow me at Ardeen, and please like and share the video. And with that, I think that's all I have to say. It's been great talking to you guys. I will see you guys next time.
Don't
I am
forget
that
the call
mouth.
to action. Don't forget the call to action.
Don't forget the call to action. 5 people, call them, let them know, remind them to vote, tell them to make sure that they haven't been purged on the voter roll. If they need absentee ballots, tell them how to get it. You know, just get out there and then tell them to do 5 people. And if we do that, then that will spread exponentially. So anyway, thank you guys. I am Juju. I am that mountain moving giant slayer. And until next time, I wish you all guys much love and many blessings. Good night.
Good night.